Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
Great to have you with us on the show today. Yeah, more Nike, did you?
Yeah.
You going to throw that out at the end of the year?
Oh, maybe. I'll tell you. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I'm just checking on wardrobe. Look, offensively, they're playing well again. The key to an offense, as to whether you're playing good offense or not, in terms of the pure offense, are you getting good shots? It is by hitting the shot. But from an X and O point of view, are you getting shots? That's good offense if you're getting shots. Penn State's getting shots, and right now they're making it pay off. I mean, they shot 54% last night. Their three-point shooting was not great for 7, but that one was down the stretch, which was a big one, to the free throw line. And yes, at the free throw line, I mean, Josh, again, you've got to look at who's taking the shots. Urich should be a good free throw shooter. He should be. I know what he's doing. How can you hit threes, which he does, and not be a good free throw shooter? Right? He's got to get himself in a crouch, and he's got to shoot toward the basket. Oh, no, everybody shoots toward the basket. No, understand, I'm talking about the body has to be shooting toward the basket. Okay? You watch him. He's a little stiff, and when he shoots it, what does he do? He falls back a little bit from the basket and then shoots it. Okay? So he's got to make that adjustment, which they've been working on in practice, but that's what he needs to do. Tunja had foul trouble first half, played the entire second half, and just quietly played really well again. He had 10 points. He had 6 assists, played really well. And, you know, Freddie DeLeon has just quietly been off the bench, a guy that has played well, makes plays. Now, defensively, all right, they've got to somehow figure out to be a better defensive team, especially on the perimeter. They're creating too many openings, holes. And so they've got to be better there. Now, let's give you the quiet part. Again, the quiet part, defense, you can talk about 52%. That is legit. That's a veteran team, good shooters. We mentioned that they are an excellent starting 5, but they don't have much of a bench. And Penn State's bench won last night 24-13. In fact, Freddie DeLeon had as many bench points as Harvard did. Okay. But there's another hidden stat in there, right? Which, again, the 52% is a legit argument, and it tells you they've got to be a better defensive team. They've got to get this thing into the lower 40s. Right? So they've got to do a better job on one-on-one defending. And you can't play zone the entire time. Mike has done a great job of picking his spots with the zone. In all these games, Mike has picked spots with the zone. And then he was going zone. There was a timeout, right? What did Penn State do out of the timeout? Went back to man. Why? Because he expected Tommy to run a zone offensive play. Okay? Now let's get to the hidden part. Penn State, again, had only 7 turnovers last night. Only 2 in the second half. Penn State ended up forcing 13 turnovers. Of the 13 turnovers, 9 were steals. Now, what does that mean? That means 9 of those were live ball turnovers. When you have LBTs, it leads to great things. There were 19-4 on points off of turnovers last night. Penn State is now 90 points to 45 so far in 5 games, points off of turnovers. Again, that's the quiet part nobody's talking about. I get it. We look at the game differently, Dick and I do, than maybe some people do. Again, you are correct about the 52%. You are correct to do a better job, especially with the perimeter defense. There's no question about that. Gave up some backdoor cuts, some backdoor slips. You are absolutely right. All of you saw it. Right? But there are a couple other things. When you are getting 9 steals, those are all live ball turnovers. And they got 19 points off him yesterday. What a difference. And you're not turning the ball over. When you have 9 live ball turnover steals and you yourself only have 7 total turnovers, okay, that's a big plus toward winning. They've got to, and the turnover number's been great. They're averaging only about 7 turnovers a game right now. That is outstanding. So that's where they are. 24 for Mingo last night. But again, he changed. Mm-hmm. He's like, it's not really there. It's not really there. So it's like, drive to the bucket, drive to the bucket, drive to the bucket. That's what he did because he felt that was the best way to score and get points. Then he finally hit a 3 late, and he hit all 7 free throws. Yeah. And he and DeLeon, in the final minute, Freddie and Caden each hit their free throws down the stretch. They were 4 of 4 in the final 4 minutes. Close games this year. Penn State in the final 4 minutes is 14 of 15 at the line. So now they got Providence, really good test. That'll be at Mohegan Sun. Quick trip down I-95 from the capital of Rhode Island to Uncasville, Connecticut. And they'll play at 4 o'clock on Saturday. So, yeah. So that's where we are with that. Football. By the way, Bills and Texans tonight. I guess you put the house in the Texans, I heard. No.
Buffalo's defense has to get better. They're playing well, but they're inconsistent. But yeah, with Stroud being out, I don't like the Texans much in this game.
Houston plays great defense.
They do.
I mean, D'Amico Ryans is an excellent defensive mind.
Phenomenal coach as a whole. I think it really a motivator, a guy that is absolutely going to get the best out of his team. There's no question about that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
The other thing with basketball is, yes, I know that it's non-conference, but you're playing close games, too. You're getting adapted to how you play in close games. I think that's something big as well.
These are kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this is a young team.
Yeah, certainly.
Your center and your backcourt are all freshmen.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, quietly, Tibor Mirotic had a good game last night. Now, they got to get Tibor more rebounds. Because, look, Tibor came here, needed to get himself back into basketball shape. Then he got banged up in the preseason, so it slowed the process. I truly believe that at some point, Tibor is going to be a 10-6 guy, which is 10 points and 6 rebounds a game. Now, he was 3 of 3 last night. He had 6 points. He didn't have a rebound, though. But I think he can be a 10.6 rebound guy at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and biggest thing when you talk about the turnovers, your bench only gave you 2. I think that's the other part of it too. When you can trust when your starters go out, your guys coming off the bench are going to take care of the ball.
Yep. So yeah. Well, there we are. I know that this is. It's getting down. I mean, now that James Franklin's been hired at Virginia Tech, people are getting really antsy now about they want to hear who Penn State's next coach is. Look, Terry's done a great job.
Yeah.
He's done a great job. I mean, he's made sure that he is absolutely worthy of consideration. Now, what Pat wants to do with it, it's going to be his call as to what he wants to do with it. Now, he'll have to run it by some people eventually, but it's going to be his call. They've gone through the vetting process. They've been doing, their diligence on zeroing in on who they want, and then you go from there. Let's just see how it plays out. I think the advantage I have in all of this is that I get ready for games. So because I get ready for games, I can lock in on games. I don't have to think so much about, I'll sit down and I'll do the talk show tonight with Mark Leon, the men's golf coach, and with Terry, just like I did quarterback club yesterday with Terry. Then I'll do the pregame with Terry tonight. He's the guy sitting there, and he's worthy of sitting there.
Absolutely.
Terry has done a phenomenal job. I can't begin to tell you what he has meant to the program as to what he has been doing after being so meaningful to the program. And you can't say enough about, I mean, there's so many things. We know 9 staffers have left, but I also know there are a couple of staffers that have decided to roll the dice they want to stay. And I'm talking about staff. I'm not talking about coaches here.
Right.
I'm talking about staff. I'm not going to get into who.
Yeah.
That will be for a later date. One of them I consider to be extremely important. But again, that is, everybody's waiting.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. And I think one of the bigger things with what Terry Smith has done, Coach Smith has done, has been an incredible job. But he's also... I
love watching him coach.
Absolutely. The energy is one thing. It feeds off to the players. The ability to keep this team together too. When you lose a coach, you never know what direction things are going to go. It's an emotional locker room. It's raw. Often, it's raw. It's often a locker room that doesn't have all share the same opinion. It's difficult, and he has done a heck of a job with keeping these guys together, keeping the focus together. And when you lose heartbreaker after heartbreaker, especially games you have the lead in, which was two of the previous 3 going into Michigan State, where you're in position to win the game, you lose those in heartbreaking fashion. It is very difficult to morally keep a team together. There is no question about it. He did that, and he's done a heck of a job with this team.
Yeah. He really has. So let's just... everybody knows I have a tendency to be way more patient that people want me to be.
Yeah, well, the biggest part of it is...
They don't want me to be so patient about things.
And I think people understood, I don't care what your opinion of James Franklin was, I think people fully understood his ability to recruit and the great job he did. And I think that is the part where people are getting antsy, saying, okay, he's taken Virginia. That's not far away from Pennsylvania. We've got to get a coach in here. We've got to be able to lock down the guys he's locking down. That, I think, is where the impatience is sitting in the most, in all likelihood.
I think it started to be impatient about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're in the middle of the season.
You're in the middle of the season.
It's like just everybody.
A lot of the guys you were targeting are also in season. Somewhere, somehow, one way or another. Yeah. So that's the other thing you have to understand. I know people are saying, well, you don't want to go after a coach that's in the playoffs. We're not in the playoffs yet. We're a month from the playoffs. That's the other part of it. These coaches have a season to finish.
Yeah, that's right. Here's the other. I talked to Bob Flounders yesterday, and I said, what's it been like where sometimes rumors swirl? I said, and in this one, there are no rumors. Right? I'm an insider. Inside of what?
Inside of what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What are you inside?
Yeah.
I mean, I was standing out in the practice field yesterday. I didn't see you.
Yeah.
It's like I was at the practice court the other day. I didn't see you.
Yeah.
But I'm an insider.
No, absolutely not.
It's like, okay. Right. I'm hearing. You are, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you're hearing a lot. I'm sure other people are hearing quite a few things too.
Yeah, of course. If you're hearing, why are you asking me if to confirm it for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
If you're hearing it, then
I'm hearing. Is it true?
Yeah.
Like going, I'm thinking to myself, you're the insider.
Yeah, exactly. And
right. And I'd like to point out, I've had several conversations with Pat, and not one time have we brought this up. It is up to him.
It's up to him.
It is up to him to
Absolutely.
bring it up to me.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it's his search.
Certainly.
It's his department. Okay? I'm only the play-by-play guy. If he wants to talk to me about it, fine. I'll talk to him about it. But it's not up to me to talk to him about it. And I laid that out the very first day this came up. I said something that if somebody wants to ask me a couple of questions. Now, when we had search committees, I can tell you that, yes, I was. Hey, what do you think of this guy? What do you think of that guy? By the search committee members.
Right.
Okay? Very quietly wanted to know, what do you think? Like, okay. Right?
Sure.
When it's a one-man operation, now, obviously Vinny James is involved, Nick's involved, Adam's involved, people like that. But it's Pat running the show. Again, if he just wants to say, hey, let me ask you, I talked, sure. But it's not up to me to go up to him and go, hey, Pat, how's tricks? It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. No.
That's not how it works.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. The only coaching job, and this isn't Penn State, that I think there is at least mutual interest, and I don't need to be an insider to see it. I think when there is smoke, and there's a lot of it, there's some fire. I think, to me, it's clear as day there is interest with Lane Kiffin and LSU. I think we've seen enough.
Florida.
And Florida. Absolutely. Florida for sure.
Florida has made it very plain that they would really like him to go there.
Yes.
I mean, they can do it through intermediaries all they want. Everybody knows about it. I remember I'd said that I was actually talking to Terry about this. And we were talking about Lane Kiffin. This is like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, geez, Terry, the way this thing's going right now, I said, Lane's going to be a billionaire when it's all done.
Absolutely. And that's the other part of this. This is just like free agency when people wait for dominoes to fall. It is literally the same exact way. You wait for the season to end, number one, but you also understand that the best coach is typically not going to be the first one to take the job because he's waiting to see what the other guy's going to get.
Yeah.
And then he's going to leverage himself even more. Now, that's absolutely accurate. There's no question about it. And yeah, Lane Kiffin, I think, and this is, look, I do not have inside information. I have no idea. I'm not Nostradamus, but I think his days in Ole Miss are numbered. I think he probably takes one of those two jobs.
It depends.
But who knows?
Okay. Yeah. I've only been around him a few times ever.
One time.
I don't know him.
Around him one time.
Okay. Well, I've been around him a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
So I don't know the guy at all.
I don't either.
I don't know.
He's not a lifer at a job. Okay. I've noticed. That's one thing I've recognized with him.
With the Tennessee thing, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But the USC thing was not his.
That was not his doing.
Not his choice.
No.
Okay. Alabama he stayed, but when he got a head coach, it was he's actually outside of Tennessee. He's made natural moves.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay? And he's been fired at two jobs that he had no choice.
He's made natural moves.
Yeah, USC and the Raiders obviously weren't his choices.
USC and the Raiders, he got fired from both jobs. He goes to Alabama, then he gets a head coaching job opportunity at Florida Atlantic, so he takes it.
So he takes it, sure.
Does well, and because that's a stepping stone job, with all due respect to the good people at Florida Atlantic, right? I mean, even Michigan's basketball coach at Florida Atlantic, got him to the Final Four, and then after 1 year later left. All right? But that's natural for him to go to Ole Miss.
Sure.
So, except for the Tennessee one, which was bad. I mean, how that played out was bad.
Absolutely.
He's moved around twice out of necessity, and the other times through natural attrition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? I mean, so it's not, but I don't know what makes him tick.
No.
I'm not even sure that people around him know what makes him tick.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't know what makes him tick. I don't know if there's something about Oxford. Have you ever been to Oxford?
Yes, one time.
Oxford's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful area.
Absolutely.
A beautiful campus, but a beautiful area.
Yeah, I like the campus.
Nice town. But I like the town too, right? The town's really nice, and the campus is just absolutely beautiful. And you don't know.
No, you don't. And
you don't know what his personal relationship is with the staff at Ole Miss.
No.
I don't know any of that stuff.
No. And
and I think we make too many assumptions about, wow, he'll just go because he's got to get out of Ole Miss and he's got to go someplace.
That doesn't necessarily mean it. No, absolutely not. And that's the other part of it is we're still, and the point we just made a little bit ago, we're still in season. Who knows what can happen at the end of the year? Who knows who leaves what school? Who knows who gets fired?
Well, part of this
all of this stuff can happen.
Part of this is, look, at some point during the course of a week, I'm sure he talks with his agent, Jimmy Sexton.
Of course he does.
Okay?
As will any coach.
Right? Because, hey, all right, and I'm hearing all sorts of stuff. What's going on? Because they're all contacting Jimmy.
Sure. Absolutely.
They're not calling Lane.
No,
See, that's the part about
they can't.
That's the part about the coaching search. Okay, the people just think they call up. Hi, I'd like to speak to Nick Saban. All right. Hey, Nick. I'm talking if Nick were still coaching Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Nick. What do you think about coaching LSU? Hello, Nick. Hello. Are you there? Now. Here's how you go about it. You call Jimmy Sexton. Hey, Jimmy. So I want to let you know, we've got an opening over here at LSU. Okay, look, we want to take a big swing. Is there any way, shape, or form do you think Nick would even consider a move? Right? And if so, what kind of terms would it take?
Yeah.
Right? That's how you get these conversations going.
Absolutely. And that is the one advantage you have when a coach is fired in season. You have the ability to pretty much throw a stone anywhere. And whether or not that person is interested, who knows? But you have that ability, you have that advantage to do that.
Yeah. Again, when nobody knows.
Right.
You have no idea which agents Pat has talked to. You don't know.
No.
Nobody knows.
Nope.
Okay? Have you talked to anybody on Zoom? I mean, anything. Nobody knows.
During a bye week, if you talk to anybody, that's the other parts of it.
Yeah. So, we just wait. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right. It hits December 25th and you don't have a coach yet. Then there's concern.
Well, it hits December. It hits December 3rd.
Yeah.
Because
that's the start part.
That's the signing day.
Yeah.
My understanding is they think they can still maybe sign 8 to 12 people. Okay. We'll see. It will take a lot of work. It'll take a lot of work to do. And then, of course, you got the transfer portal part, which you really are going to have to deal with.
No question.
Really going to have to deal with it. But,
and as is the case when there's a coaching change, no matter what. So it's not a case of nobody wants to play for Penn State. Nobody wants. That's the case when any coach leaves.
It doesn't matter.
Literally, that is the coaches recruit their guys at any school.
Right.
That's going to happen anywhere. Tell me it didn't happen at Alabama when Nick Saban left. It did.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Terry Smith has done a phenomenal job.
He sure has.
Right. Look, he was asked the other day at his press conference, and he gave exactly the right answer. Has he interviewed for the job? And he says, every day I'm doing this job is my job interview. Well, I'm telling you right now, at least in terms of the job interview part, he's knocking it out of the park.
I agree.
And you got to give him a lot of credit for how he's handled himself with the media. You have to give him a lot of credit for how he's handled himself with his team. And look, he's not over there. You know, he loves the players, but he's tough on the players. He's tough on them.
Sure.
And that's the part people don't realize. Like, you know, it's okay. People will take tough coaching. People will take tough conversations. People will take, if you're honest with them, they'll take honest conversations, realizing that you still think the world of them. But at the same time, you can go out and still have all their respect, and they're still going to love you.
Sure.
Well, that's Terry. That is Terry as to how he's handled everything to this point. Incredible family. Penn State are through and through.
I was going to say, Penn State, absolutely. That's the other part of it. Penn State is in the blood through family.
Yep, through and through. So he has been, boy, you know, he's done, to be honest with you, I remember when we thought there might be a problem, Jack asked me, like, who on the staff? I said, definitely Terry would be the guy to pick. It's interesting how you sit there and you say, it's definitely Terry. And then you talk to Terry, and Terry was shocked he got it.
He was ready.
I'm saying, though.
Absolutely.
No, but he was shocked he got it. Because remember, Terry was meeting with the corners. And so Terry came out about 20 after 1, and Kevin Threlkel, I think he called him in the building, probably called him on his cell phone in the building. He said, hey, can you come meet? And when he saw Kevin's face, and Kevin, by the way, is going to Virginia Tech, right, who's one of the greatest guys you'd ever want to meet. I mean, he and his wife and those 2 little girls are just unbelievable. Right? I'm going to miss those guys. But he came out and he saw Kevin's face, and it was ashen. He said he knew something was up. It was like, yeah. He said, Pat needs to talk to you. So I went and talked with Pat and Vinny James in one of the meeting rooms over at Lash. He's like, holy cow, really? Because you go from coaching a position to now coaching
being
an entire team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but coaching the entire team. And I mean, that's something that that you don't realize. Like, we'll talk about like a coordinator getting a head coaching job. Well, a coordinator prepares themselves to be a head coach in part because they coach literally half the team. Okay. But there is also a difference of coaching half the team and coaching the whole team. So that's why sometimes a coordinator has to get used to it. Okay. Right? As opposed to, as Terry told me, Steve, he says, I go in the room, there are 11 guys. He says, now I walk in the room, there are 125. You know, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. So, yeah. Time now for 49 good San Francisco seconds.
I'll tell you,
time's almost up.
I'm glad it is. There's not much to add to that.
Not much. You got a genius for a head coach.
I'll tell you, the job he's done this year, you can't say enough. With all the injuries that they've had, there's no question.
Genius.
The job he has had, I won't call him a genius.
Genius.
I won't call him a genius the way he coaches.
I watch the media. He's a genius.
The way he coaches in the fourth quarter, I'll tell you. But
genius.
But, yeah, it's a tough game this week. Yeah, I never thought I'd say the Panthers are a tough game. They're going to be a tough game. Monday Night Football.
Actually, yeah, Carolina is playing well.
They're playing real well. Bryce Young's played a lot better.
But, again, as I tell people all the time, the way the NFL is designed between schedule and drafting, you're supposed to have these 3, you dip it for 3 years, then all of a sudden you pick it up for 3 years. So, I mean, things are kind of like in cycles. So,
yeah.
And now after drafting high that entire time, guess what? Carolina has some talent.
Absolutely. And the other part is what what it leads to at some point, and this is more so 49ers, but when you have a guy that can groom players enough as backups that become starters, that leads to draft capital.
Right.
And that's exactly what I think a lot of these guys are doing now. Philadelphia's done it for many years, and Kyle Shanahan's going to be able to do that now with Mac Jones. I mean, Mac Jones isn't going to be a 49er next year, I wouldn't think. I think there's going to be teams, Minnesota being one, that will probably pursue a quarterback.
Right. Well, this is where the Eagles are going to find out. One thing about the NFL, the way it's designed roster-wise, it's very difficult to have depth.
Difficult to have depth, especially once you hit that year 3 to 5 in that cap window. Yeah. There's no, to me, I don't believe in this, the window's closing. No, what I do believe in, though, is that cap. When you start, when the backload of the contracts start to come in, is when you start to struggle a little bit more. That's when roster management becomes a bigger challenge.
Well, that's for the GM.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm talking about the day in and day out. You have 46 guys you can use on Sunday.
Sure.
Thursday, Sunday, Monday. What other days do the NFL play?
Whatever day Christmas Day falls. That's Thursday this year. It'll be a Thursday.
They also play Black Friday next
That's
week.
true. Yep, Eagles, Bears. Yep.
But you have the practice squad gets you to 53. But when the team gets to a game in the NFL, let's just take the offensive line. Excuse me. They only usually carry 7, maybe 8 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
That's why when an NFL general manager was asking me about Venga Ioane, I mentioned that. They said, hey, I said, just so you know, I said, he can play center. I said, I've seen him snap the ball. He can play. In other words, you're talking about versatility of a guy. Well, the Eagles are about to run into that. They've already had Dickerson out for a little bit. Right now, though, they've got Lane Johnson out. Cam Jurgens,
Jurgens is banged up.
Jurgens did not seem like it was a great situation when he left the game on Sunday night. So Fred Johnson had to play. Toth had to play. It's not a question of Fred Johnson and Toth having to play. This is the part, again, where if you understand how it works, you have to ask yourself, right? Okay? Who replaced Toth and Johnson? Talking about Fred Johnson. It's one thing to have Toth and Fred Johnson step in for Jurgens and Lane Johnson, right?
Right.
But the next question is, who replaces Toth as the backup and who replaces Fred Johnson as the backup? Right? And what if something happens and one of them gets hurt? Right? And this is where the depth problem comes in. I mean, that's the NFL. Every NFL team has to go through this. They all
Absolutely.
do. Right? It's such a long, hard-fought, brutal season physically as well as mentally.
Yeah.
Right? That, when you hit an injury in a spot or two, it's not the question of how good your backup is. The next question is, how good is the backup to the backup? Because guess what? That person just ascended on the depth chart as well.
Absolutely. And as great as Howie is, and I would put him above just about anybody, if not the best GM in football, I think he probably is in the conversation without question. He missed on that C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade. That was the one where he brought in depth on the offensive line, and now Kenyon Green's not even on the roster.
Right.
That was one where it's not often he misses on a trade. That was one that he missed on. That's
no doubt.
That's where he tried to get the depth. Unfortunately, did not get it. I think with Gardner-Johnson, it's no secret he's a headache. I think you get rid of that kind of stuff in the locker room. That's big too. But yeah, I think he still missed on that trade though with what he got back.
Yeah. The pain in the locker room part. And this is, okay, this is where the locker room part means a lot.
Absolutely.
Because I've talked to a couple of guys that are GMs in the NFL. Look, in what I do, you have an opportunity to do this. Okay?
Sure.
This is so everybody knows. I'm not like, you also haven't dropped any names.
Right.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But when I've had a chance to talk to them, you try and pick their minds about how they do their job. not about who they're like. Hey, are you going to trade for? You don't do that.
No. They're not going to tell you either.
But right, exactly. You're wasting your time. I mean, I'm not big into wasting my time at all. I'm not big into wasting my time at all. And so when I talk to them, I'm trying to find out, like, how do you think? Why, why? I'm trying to learn.
Absolutely.
More. So I was talking about locker rooms, and one guy told me that they got rid of a really good player, right? And he said, Steve, it made the entire team better because it made the locker room better.
Yeah.
Now, you can be enamored with talent, okay? And if you have talent with character, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen,
Sure.
You got talent with character. Oh, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, right? That's something else.
Character and leadership.
Right. Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Everybody will tell you, what a great guy he is. As well as being a great player. Those players will run through a wall for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, clearly, if you look at this Ravens team, since he's come back, how good they are.
No question. Yeah. Right. So, but if you have somebody that's just like dragging the whole thing down, that's what I mean. Look, I don't know A.J. Brown at all.
Well, yeah.
All I know is what he's been saying.
Sure.
That's not helping anything.
No, it's not.
What does that help?
No, it's absolutely not.
And then the Eagles go out and consciously force the ball to him. How many times on Sunday night? Like, hey, AJ had a great game. Like, really? You scored one touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay? See the guy on the other side of the field?
Yeah.
Okay? He's your home run hitter.
Absolutely, your deep threat.
He's your home run hitter. Okay? At the expense of him, you went over here.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not there. Sometimes it's not helping you. So, they appeased him and forced the ball to him and got one touchdown out of it. One.
Yeah.
One.
Sure.
They had as many touchdowns in the game as Detroit did.
Yeah.
But A.J. got the ball, right, at the expense of who?
Yeah. Well, you look
at the expense of Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Who's having a phenomenal season and is the guy that you worry about. You worry about him more than every play you do A.J. Brown, unless you need a pass interference call where Brown pushes off and gets the call. I mean, horrible call. I mean, you sit there and go, just stay out of it.
Yeah. And look, you go back to the Eagles. Eagles go to 3 straight conference championships in the 2000s. Biggest thing they were lacking was a wide receiver. Yeah, their leading wide receiver against the Panthers was Ricky Manning. He played for the other team.
Yeah.
So that's where they go out and get Terrell Owens, which was a great get on paper.
Yeah.
And you think maybe you could tame him a little bit, and unfortunately you weren't able to. That guy clearly divided the locker room in a big way. They go from going to the Super Bowl to 6-10, and he gets sent home. Ends up on another team in 2 years. That's the kind of stuff that happens when you have people in the locker room that are all about themselves, and that eventually happens no matter how talented they are. And I'd put Terrell Owens in the top probably 5 to 10 wide receivers of all time. I with the exception of Jerry Rice, I never saw a guy run after the catch like Terrell Owens, and that's how good he was when he caught the ball. That's how good he was.
John Taylor was good after the catch.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Jerry Rice wasn't in San Francisco. John Taylor would have got a lot more credit.
Yeah, but sometimes a guy is made to be a 2.
Yeah, he was a great 2. He's one of the best 2s I've ever seen.
Tony Hill.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Harper.
Alvin Harper in Dallas.
Yep. 2. Went to Washington to be a 1. Should be a 2.
Went to Tampa to be a 1. Yep. Tampa, then Washington. Yep.
Right. Didn't. Okay. Some people are made to be 2, which means, and believe me, being a great 2 is
Bushman-Zada for Banks.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
When you have a great 2, because the other guy, the one's getting most of the attention, you can't put it in. John Taylor was a phenomenal 2. Alvin Harper was a phenomenal 2.
Yeah, they were both great. Yeah, and the ability to run after the catch for both of them. John Taylor that Monday nighter against the Rams, that division title was on the line that night. 290-plus yard touchdowns.
I mean, look, Rice makes big catches, including the one over the middle against the Bengals.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Out to midfield, but then the winning touchdown went to John Taylor.
Yeah.
Right, on the post, and a great throw by Montana.
That's one of the best games. Absolutely. Taylor made the catch. One of the best games I ever saw Jerry Rice play was that Super Bowl. 11 catches, 215 yards.
Unbelievable. Just
could not be stopped. It was phenomenal.
Unbelievable. But I'm saying, but you have to have a team, and instead of John Taylor griping, get me the ball, he looked over at Jerry Rice and said, hey,
understood he was number 2,
No, I'm lucky to have him over there. He's making me better. Jerry Rice is looking over at John Taylor on the other side saying, hey, look, he makes me better. I'm using, but
Marvin Harrison to Reggie Wayne, same thing.
But those are, again, you've got to have a locker room that has some cohesion to it. And if you have somebody that doesn't have the team mindset,
right?
I've talked to a couple guys, and they've talked about like extremely talented players that are no longer with them, and they're happier as a team for it.
Yeah, and it's not only the wide receiver will open his mouth. It's got that ripple down effect.
It's not always wide receiver.
No, but I'm just using the example of a wide receiver. Wide receiver opens his mouth that he doesn't get the ball.
Right.
Suddenly he says that to 4 other people in the locker room. Who's the guy that's going to then be widely criticized and divided against in the locker room more often than not? It's going to be the quarterback. Yeah. And that was certainly the case in Philadelphia with Donovan McNabb. There's no doubt about it. And you sense, at least, and look, I'm not in that locker room, I don't know, you sense at least there's a little bit of that against Jalen Hurts, despite the fact the guy's been to 2 Super Bowls and he outplayed this generation's best quarterback both games.
Right. Yeah.
So and that's where, absolutely, Hurts has his flaws, no question. I don't want another guy under center in Philadelphia other than Jalen Hurts right now.
And he's getting criticized.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's getting criticized. He's getting criticized because of what's happening. That's the part of it.
Merrill Reese told me a great story. Eagles, of course, won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to think. 49ers didn't. It's been a while.
No, they've lost the last 3. Yeah.
Oh, no. It's a 30-year thing.
Well, it's a 30-year thing if they've lost the last 3 they've been in.
They've lost the last 31 seasons.
That's right.
Just kidding.
Not winning this year either.
Right. Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, they're gonna need a miracle if they do.
Right. But back to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
They win the Super Bowl. Now, Hurts, throughout his career, has been criticized a lot.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
He's been criticized a lot. And he ends up being the Super Bowl MVP, justifiably so.
Sure.
If the Eagles won a couple of years ago against Kansas City, he would have been the Super Bowl MVP in that game, too. All right. But Merrill Reese told me, he says, he gets a text from Jalen Hurts. He says, go back to the locker room. There's something there waiting for you. So he goes back into the locker room. This is before the parade. Maybe it was after the parade. Parade's over, so everybody had to go get their cars at the stadium. So Merrill goes in there. Customized, right? Michael Jordan, Jalen Hurts, sneakers, with a note saying, you knew before everyone else. Okay? Right? First of all, Merrill's that special. I mean,
there's no,
you want to talk about one of the nicest people ever. That is a great talent.
Yeah, Philadelphia has been very fortunate with their broadcasters, without question.
No doubt.
And that goes all the way from pro to college. We just lost Harry Donahue a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
that was a special, absolutely special guy.
Great Rob Pastor.
No question. No question. And I obviously not sports related. I certainly have to mention Pierre Robert. What he did for rock radio in Philadelphia speaks for itself for WMMR. But the sports broadcasters, absolutely, they're fortunate to have a legend like Harry Callis. Fortunate to have a guy like Merrill Reese in Philadelphia. Fortunate in the Sixers. Really, I can name 2 guys. Mark Zumov's the guy I think everybody's going to remember.
I know Mark way better than I do Tom McGinnis, but Tom
McGinnis was incredible. Absolutely,
really, really good.
Yeah,
Zumov, we've talked a lot over the years.
Zumov was absolutely sensational. And now, Kate Scott has taken that reins over. Yeah, Philadelphia has been very fortunate to have great broadcasters.
But again, Merrill has always seen what Jalen Hurts could do. Jalen Hurts, number one, doesn't turn the ball over.
No, he does, but not often. Yeah, everybody does.
One interception and what? Two fumbles?
Yeah, fumbled in the Packers game. People are going to remember the first Super Bowl. They're going to
because he dropped the ball.
And they're not going to remember
huge play.
The huge plays he made.
Right, but
people in this day and age, I think, wait for the mistake. They don't see everything that leads up to that mistake. We're post-mistake.
But again, people do make mistakes. It's one of the big things. Ethan Grunkemeyer on Saturday at Michigan State had a kind of an up and down game. The throw to Ross for the touchdown was as good a throw as you could make.
Sure.
The throw to Pena on fourth down was a fabulous throw. The other throw to Pena was another great throw, but Ross was also 20 yards behind in the end zone, like over here, like Jimmy Orr in the Super Bowl. Hey, right. But what didn't he do in the game? He turned the ball over once. No interceptions, no fumbles. Right? Penn State didn't turn the ball over on Saturday. It's going to be critical for them in how they play against Nebraska on Saturday night. I think that, and then you've got Central Catholic tomorrow?
Pittsburgh Central Catholic, yeah.
Mansion Park?
Yeah, at Mansion Park.
And they're going to let you in?
That's the rumor, at least. Yeah, that's. Might even let me on the field at some point.
Well, no, because down there you are not. You're kind of considered to be persona non grata. All the insulting things you have said over the years about Altoona.
I'll tell you what, there are very few venues in the state I would take over Mansion Park. The parking situation is not pleasant. That's one thing they've got to improve. They've got to improve the parking. That's right. That's why they don't have the state championships. If parking was better, they would have the state title games in Altoona. And that takes nothing away from Cumberland Valley. The money they pumped into that facility, Chapman Field, is insane right now. Yeah, so they deserve having the state titles. But Mansion Park is one of the great venues in the state of Pennsylvania. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. All the insulting things that you said. It's just...
Never would I insult Doug West or Danny Fortson.
Well, in the hallway, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I was talking to Jason in the green room. You wouldn't believe what he says.
I remember when Doug West was named coach of Altoona. He's no longer the coach there. When he was named,
I remember when Doug West played against Penn State. Was at Villanova in the NIT.
I do too. And then at Villanova, then Minnesota. And I still remember he was named coach and saying, I bet you a lot of people don't even remember I played. I'm thinking, I remember your college days, man. I certainly remember you played.
Yeah. Again, you have the ability to just say all these ugly, insulting things in the hallway, then come on the air and tell everybody that these are the greatest places on the face of the earth. I'm like, I don't know, how do you get away with that? I'm just asking you. Is it some sort of skill that I need to acquire? No, Mansion Park is great. And look, it's only a 40-mile trip.
That's the best part of it.
You probably thought it was going to be further down toward Pittsburgh. Right?
No doubt. I thought it'd be maybe, definitely Murraysville area, maybe somewhere around there. Even as far as Monroeville could have been. But I'm ecstatic to have this game at Mansion Park. Absolutely.
Good. Be a nice state-high crowd. The weather looks like it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Which was not the case last year as a monsoon. that was.
Are you a professional complainer?
It might have been. And Pittsburgh Central Catholic in that monsoon still ran the football effectively. Their line up front is real big. I think that's going to present a challenge. Could be the biggest challenge, I think, up front. Harrisburg's line was great. But PCC's offensive line is incredible. They're physical.
Pittsburgh Central
Catholic that's going to present a challenge.
A lot of
really
good players.
They do.
And every year
All the time. Yeah,
they
sure.
have a lot of
absolutely.
Really,
you go back to when Art Walker ran the program.
Players.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Rich history. A lot of NFL players have come out of PCC.
Many have broken your heart over the years.
They certainly have. They certainly have.
It's just always been a big concern of all of ours, seeing your heart broken. Boy, you get a lot. You get so emotional about these games.
I think everybody does. Well, I remember the year.
Like you take it personally. I mean, screaming on the air before a game-winning field goal, "Daddy needs a new pair of shoes." What does that mean? Right? It just sounds so. You think, "Daddy needs a Buick." Come on, hit it. I'm paid by the game. Come on, give me one more. Merry Christmas. Right. Meanwhile, poor Adam Sheets is trying to call the play. I don't get what. I understand, like, the stakes that you have in this thing, but still. Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Joey Valeri asked me if they're going to do a potluck deal here on Tuesday. He says, "I just want to make sure you're invited. Do you want to go?" And I said, "Are you going to be there?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Then no." Just kidding.